Now, from Indiana's most watched news station.
A Hoosier baby born in Mexico at just 28 weeks. Now the family is living a nightmare, desperately trying to find tens of thousands of dollars to give their baby a fighting chance. How you can help.
A new murder suspect sketch creating a firestorm on social media. The plea tonight from state police to stick to the facts.
Here comes the heat wave. We are tracking the hottest weather in years and a heat index that will be at dangerous levels. How hot it will get, how long it will last, and when thunderstorms could bring a cool off, that's coming up.
More millennials are signing prenups before tying the knot. Why it's not about how much money you have, but instead how little. Fox 59 News at 10 starts now.
Our daughter is stuck in Cancun with our first grandchild, and we can't get him here.
An American baby, this little one, born premature in Mexico, now being held hostage by a Cancun hospital. You just heard from the baby's grandparents. They say they are working around the clock to get that little boy back here to Indiana. It is the top story right now. Thank you so much for joining us at 10. I'm Fanchon Stinger.
And I'm Dan Spieler. We'll have that story coming up. But first, we want to check on our weather tonight because we could be looking at dangerous heat headed our way. Chief Meteorologist Brian Wilkes here right now with the very latest. Brian?
Dan and Fanchon, I'll tell you, this is a weather pattern typical in the summer months. The heat and the humidity are building. A heat wave has already taken hold in parts of the central U.S., and it's coming our way. It is a warm night. It's a muggly night. That's a live look in on a mid-July night that's certainly living up to its billing. There's high levels of humidity in this atmosphere, haze too, and temperatures at this hour that are still in the upper 70s and lower 80s. The heat is building in as we speak, and thunderstorms are igniting the skies over northern Illinois, some of which those thunderstorms may arrive in parts of northern Indiana in what is called a rim of fire pattern. A hot dome is building out to the west and around the periphery of that heat. Big-time thunderstorms have produced 70 and 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts over parts of Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and into northern Illinois. And note how that cluster of thunderstorms is diving southeast. Parts of far northwest Indiana will be on tap for a lightning show soon, and those thunderstorms are expected to weaken but arrive in parts of far northwest Indiana after midnight. The thunderstorm threat is a small one, but there is that chance late night far north and west. Let's talk about the heat. It's going to be dangerously hot and humid for the next several days. Heat indices could top 105 and even higher for not only one but 3 straight afternoons in what will be the hottest air since 2013. We're talking about temperatures that will be way above average for this time of the year, heat index that's way above normal as well, and we're talking about the chances for thunderstorms and a big cool-off in my forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Okay, Brian, thank you. And with this heat, you may want to crank up the air conditioning, but there are some things that you can do to save on your energy bill. IPL says you need to always check your air filter, make sure that it's clean. And also this bit of advice that caught us a bit by surprise. They say you can keep your home at 78 degrees or as warm as you can stand to save a little bit of money. Turn off your lights, use LED bulbs, and finally close your blinds. Shutting out the sun rays can help cool your home, obviously. Well, with the heat, doctors are warning you also to watch out for heat stroke. The 3 signs include heat cramps in the legs and stomach. Next come chills with nausea and a headache. You might even stop sweating. And finally, confusion, dizziness, and even seizures. Doctors say you want to call 911 right away if you experience any of these symptoms. And you can always keep an eye on the heat by downloading the Fox 59 Weather Authority app. It is a free download from our website, fox59.com.
Well, new at 10 right now, the Humane Society of Indianapolis is now caring for 4 dogs that were rescued from the meat trade overseas. You're looking at those dogs being brought here to central Indiana. They were just arrived this afternoon. Humane Society International rescued 150 dogs from being sold, killed, and eaten in South Korea. This is the 9th dog meat farm the Humane Society International has permanently closed since 2014, rescuing nearly 1,000 pups. The dogs are going to animal shelters around the country. Right now, back to our top story this evening. An American baby born premature in Mexico now being held hostage by a Cancun hospital. You just heard earlier from the baby's grandparents. They say they are working around the clock to get that little baby boy back to Indiana.
We're working desperately tonight to bring him home after 24 hours with no resolution. The family now has Congressman Trey Hollingsworth's office involved tonight, but they're still not sure his help will be enough to get baby Beckham to a hospital here in the United States.
Fox 59's Deanna Albritton actually talked with that distraught family tonight, who hopes their story will serve as a warning to so many others considering traveling while pregnant. Deanna, where do we stand right now?
Well, when I arrived at the house today, the grandparents were just absolutely frantic, learning their plan to get their grandson to a Florida hospital had just fallen apart. That was just moments before. And that's why many times during this story, you're going to hear the ding of a text message or ring of a phone. This has been their life for the past 36 hours, making calls, doing whatever it takes to bring baby Beckham home.
A baby born at 28 weeks in the United States has a 96 to 98% chance of survival in that first year.
But baby Beckham, born 12 weeks early, isn't in the United States. He's with his Indiana parents in Mexico.
And they should have been home today.
Today
was their day to come home.
Michaela Smith and Larry Ralph Jr.'s dream Cancun vacation ended early when Michaela went into labor yesterday morning. That's when their parents say the nightmare started.
I mean, literally, they're being held hostage down there. We just want to get him somewhere and get him stable.
We need to get him in America.
But for the last 36 hours, these Martinsville grandparents say greed has gotten in the way.
Larry went that whole evening, didn't he, without seeing the baby? He just got to see the baby.
Well, he paid,
Yeah.
they demanded that he pay another $4,000, and that got him access to go back and see the baby.
Michaela and Larry handed over $9,000 to the hospital for the first day of care, and then another $4,000 for various fees. Then they say hospital staff refused to release the baby even to an air ambulance until they paid the bill in full. The total kept changing, but was last pegged at $30,000. That doesn't include the money the 4 grandparents already spent on a medevac.
The medevac was paid for to St. Petersburg Hospital. That was around $18,000.
But even if the bill is paid, they've struggled to find a hospital close to Cancun that would take Beckham and his Healthy Indiana Plan insurance.
We would have never thought that we would have had a problem getting him in a hospital here. It was getting out of Mexico.
Yeah, and I would have thought Florida would have been our best chance.
During a brief moment when phones stopped buzzing and ringing, Larry Sr. stopped to look at pictures of his 11 other grandchildren. They're determined to make sure his 12th makes it home alive.
I love you, Michaela. We're going to get you and Larry and Beckham out of there. We will do it.
I just got off the phone with the family just a few minutes ago. They tell me there likely won't be a medical jet available to bring baby Beckham home to Riley Hospital for Children before morning. Riley was able to find a last-minute bed, but with the Cancun hospital still hanging a $30,000 bill over the parents' heads for Beckham's release, no one's sure what will even happen when the jet gets there. Plus, the $18,000 bill they were expecting for the air ambulance to Florida, well, it's now going to be more than $30,000 to get to Riley. Deanna Albritton, Fox 59 News.
Just a heartbreaking situation for that family. Deanna, thank you. We know you'll keep us posted. Meantime, tonight, the search continues for a mother accused of threatening to harm her children, prompting an Amber Alert last night. Police say Michaela Pullins has a domestic violence case already pending in Johnson County. In May, Greenwood police say Pullins attacked her boyfriend at the Johnson County Armory and nearly ran over one of her kids. Pullins was charged with domestic battery, criminal recklessness, resisting law enforcement, and disorderly conduct. She's out on bond tonight. If you see her, call police right away.
And take another look at this image tonight. This is the man police say killed Abby Williams and Libby German 5 months ago in Delphi. The word from investigators tonight: if you are going to share this sketch, share it responsibly. Police want people to stop putting the sketch next to pictures of other people on social media. Fox 59's Lindsay Eaton is here now with more on how, Lindsay, this could actually hurt the case, people doing this.
Yes, absolutely, it can hurt the case. Now, this is the side-by-side picture right here. This is the one police want you to share. But when you go on Facebook, there are plenty of other versions. And with just a click, you're connecting innocent people to this horrific crime. A closer look at a killer. We've seen a blurry screenshot and heard a muffled voice recorded from a cell phone. This sketch is the clearest picture of the man police say killed Abby Williams and Libby German 5 months ago while the teenagers were hiking in Delphi. As soon as investigators released this sketch, social media took off.
Share it the right way.
And this is the wrong way. Facebook users posting the sketch next to pictures of men, some comparing mugshots to it.
You're putting people's lives, families, children in danger by putting pictures that may have nothing to do with this case.
Sergeant Kim Riley says the social media speculation could hurt the case.
And you're just being Joe Detective out there trying to be the one to break the case, and that's not the way to do it.
Investigators aren't scrolling through Facebook looking for leads. They're focused on the tips coming through email and the hotline. Since Monday morning, they've gotten more than 1,300 tips.
It's too early at this time to really say one way or the other what is promising, what is not.
Jumping to conclusions and clicking post or share with a picture of someone you think looks like this man could land you in trouble.
I'm sure there's an attorney somewhere that'll be more than happy to help that person, that victim now, who you thought was a suspect, and now they're coming after you liably and possibly criminally.
Since February, detectives have processed 1,000 persons of interest, but still no arrest. So if you recognize or know something about this man, detectives want that information, but they don't want it posted on social media. Now, before this week, there were 5 to 10 investigators working this case daily. Since the release of this sketch right here, it's been increased to 25 to 30 investigators. Now, the tip line and that email is at the bottom of your screen right there. Of course, we have it online as well. Dan?
All right, Lindsay, thank you so much. Nearly 24 robbery cases solved with the arrest of 5 teens. These are 3 of the teens. Police say they're part of a robbery group known as the Addams family. They believe the 5 are responsible for robberies, vehicle thefts, and carjackings around Marion and Hamilton counties. The Indiana State Police bomb squad picks up what appeared to be a grenade today in Boone County. Police say a woman was driving on Mount Zion Road yesterday when she got a flat tire. She went back to the gravel road today to see what might have popped her tire, and she found what appeared to be a grenade. The bomb squad is now investigating that device.
Well, faith leaders in Indianapolis are calling for more resources to help stop violent crime. A 15-year-old is in custody tonight, accused in the murder of 3 men Sunday night. And today, the police chief, the 10-Point Coalition, and Young Men Incorporated all stood together there. They are pushing for big changes in how the city fights youth violence and works to keep guns away from teens.
You know, this crime took place up in the northern part of Indianapolis. This wasn't in the hood. And so this violence is going to spread like cancer if we don't get the resources out there to stem the tide.
There are programs happening right now, going on as we speak in the city, working to keep teens out of trouble. One of those is Young Men Inc. But its leader says his organization is suffering from a $20,000 cut in city assistance this year.
New at 10, a new effort to make sure no child with autism disappears. This comes on the heels of Shalom Lawson's death. He was an 8-year-old who disappeared while visiting family in Brownsburg. Now that community and other parents are taking steps to raise awareness about these tracking devices. Fox 59's Haley Bull is live tonight with the effort to take this all the way to the State House. Haley?
Dan, one mother is starting an online petition she hopes catches the eyes of lawmakers here. She wants to make those tracking devices available to each child who receives a diagnosis of autism. It's just one effort to raise awareness, though, and it's all inspired by Shalom. Behind the trucks, helicopters and cars at the Hendricks Regional Health Touch a Truck and Child Safety Fair. There's an effort touching hearts, driven by 8-year-old Shalom Lawson.
I think that this touches everybody's heart a little bit.
Earlier this month, Shalom, who had autism, disappeared while visiting family in Brownsburg. His body later found in a pond.
There's plenty of families that could benefit from this service, and they just don't know that the service is here.
In the aftermath, more and more families are learning about transmitter devices that can help track someone with things like autism, Down syndrome, or Alzheimer's if they wander off. This event helping fund Project Lifesaver Hendricks County, which helps provide them.
If there's something out here that can protect any child who's an escape risk, why not make it available?
Shalom's story, inspiring efforts beyond this field, though. It hit home for Shauna Lipscomb.
That is my biggest driving force. And then I have a son who's autistic that I I mean, I just feel like something like this could happen to my kid.
Now, she started an online petition. She wants a system to connect parents whose children receive a diagnosis of autism with agencies who can provide the tracking devices.
I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And as I stated before, I'm going to keep pressing and pushing and pushing it.
An effort to educate parents here in Indiana and in other states. Funds raised here also helping Shalom's family advocate for a Project Lifesaver in Louisville. And organizers say they need a bare minimum of $4,000 to help jumpstart that Project Lifesaver in Louisville. As for that online petition, it already has nearly 200 signatures. Live at the State House, Haley Bull, Fox 59 News.
Haley, thank you. We know you'll continue to follow it and keep us up to date. Have a drone? If you do, listen up. There are now more restrictions on where you can fly in Marion County. The Public Safety and Criminal Justice Committee of the City County Council voted unanimously to bring our drone code up to date with federal and state regulations. Some people actually wanted the committee to loosen restrictions on drone operators, but the committee did not. They did, however, add the Marion County Fair to the list of no-fly zones. Also tonight, the committee approved more money to improve IMPD's shooting range and training academy. The department will now have $800,000 on top of $2 million previously approved to make more improvements. IMPD tells us these upgrades will carry them through the next 15 to 20 years.
Hundreds of carrier workers will head to work for the last time tomorrow. The company's cutting 300 jobs at its Indianapolis factory as it moves production to Mexico. The company plans to cut 630 jobs by the end of the year. President Trump struck a deal with the company last year to prevent even more layoffs.
Well, new at 10 tonight, the number of millennials getting married, well, that number is lower than any other generation, and getting hitched later in life also means you might have more assets to protect.
The startup generation, now the prenup generation. Fox 59's Aisha Husney shows us why so many young people are choosing to sign on the dotted line.
It's not a romantic conversation, but it seems millennials are flirting with the idea of prenuptial agreements more than generations before them. And the reasons why might surprise you. Kanye may be singing it, but millennials are signing it.
Holla, we want prenup. We want prenup.
More young people than ever before want a prenup. According to a survey by the American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers, more than half of family law attorneys saw a jump in millennials requesting a prenup. Why? Millennials are getting married later on in life and may have a lot more to lose.
If you like your stuff, I mean, do it.
Amir Quadri and fiancée Brittany Green are in love.
Let me groom you.
They share a house, a dog, and soon they'll share a last name. But that's where the sharing stops.
Well, I think Brittany put it one day, what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine. And at that point, I said, no, we need a prenup.
Presumption is that it would be split 50-50, everything. The prenup prevents that.
Divorce attorney Sarah Baker is all about the prenup, and she thinks millennials are catching on to the overwhelming benefits.
People starting their own businesses and coming up with their own ideas, that's important for those people to protect those ideas and those businesses.
How is the dentist office?
That's exactly why Amir and Brittany want a prenup. Brittany is a dentist who dreams of her own practice one day.
If I were to have a practice and, like, say I put all my time and effort and money into that, I didn't want something nasty, to come between us and him to try to, sink his claws in my practice.
On the other end, Amir is an engineer. And like a lot of millennials these days, money isn't as important to him as his intellectual property, the stuff he might come up with one day.
Whatever else I end up developing or building in the next eternity, essentially, I want that to be mine.
Even if you don't have much in the way of assets to protect, you hopefully will at some point.
Sarah says people think they have to be rich to get a prenup, but even broke couples can use that piece of paper. Studies find that 18 to 35-year-olds have an average $41,000 of student debt. Add on credit card charges, a mortgage, and you're in trouble.
Anything that you own prior to and then accumulate during the marriage goes into the marital pot. But if it's been a very short marriage, or if all of that debt was accumulated prior to the marriage, those are factors that the court will consider in deviating.
You got to plan for the future one way or another.
Sure, talking about divorce before you walk down the aisle isn't easy, but Amir and Brittany say it's an honest conversation every couple should be having.
I think when people get married, absolutely no one goes into it thinking, oh, I'm probably just going to divorce this person. No one thinks that. Statistically thinking, half of marriages will fail. So, I mean, we're both rational people. We understand that things might happen in the future that we may not want to happen, but it does.
That's why now they're looking for a lawyer and looking to hammer out all the details. And they're making sure they do it with love and plenty of laughter.
He even said he wants my ring back if we had a divorce, and I said that's fine.
You get insurance for your car and for your health, so in my eyes, that's what it is. It's like you prepare for the worst, but you hope for the best.
And divorce attorney Sarah Baker says before you hire a lawyer, get with your partner first and get some stuff out of the way. Make a list of everything you own, what you want to keep. Have a talk about pets and how you'll pay for that prenup and the divorce. And remember, as you both change and grow in your marriage, you can always change that little piece of paper too. I'm Aisha Husney, Fox 59 News.
Well, no doubt this is getting some conversation started tonight, so we do want to know, would you get a prenup before marriage? Just go to our Facebook page and tell us why or why not. Right now, though, we want to turn to breaking news coming into the Fox 59 newsroom. Charges just filed against a man accused of threatening his neighbor with a gun. You may remember this story. Court documents now reveal Jeffrey Weigel is charged with criminal recklessness. This is the video from June. It shows what police say is Weigel taunting his neighbor, Dean Keller. The video also shows Weigel pulling a gun on Keller, but Keller fired the first shot, hitting Weigel and putting him in the hospital. Johnson County prosecutors say Keller will not be charged. Again, Weigel will, but again, we now know Weigel is indeed facing a criminal recklessness charge. A no-contact order is also now in place.
A shocking diagnosis tonight for Arizona Senator John McCain.
What doctors found while removing a blood clot above his eye.
We'll have that next. Plus, a school mentor under arrest for sexual misconduct. Why experts say it's a good reminder to talk to your children about sexual predators. New at 10, a lot of people thinking about Arizona Senator John McCain tonight after it was revealed that he's been diagnosed with a brain tumor. It's associated with that blood clot that doctors just removed from above his left eye last week. Doctors say this form of brain cancer is aggressive. McCain's family is reviewing further treatment. He has been recovering at home ever since his surgery. A lot of reaction tonight pouring in from Indiana politicians and across the country. Well, new at 10, a little girl dies in a hit and run in Michigan City, and the person responsible is still on the run tonight. A car hit 5-year-old Delaney Kluwer as the girl and her sister were crossing the street near their home. The car immediately sped off. Delaney died from her injuries. Her older sister was not hurt. Police are now looking for a gray or silver SUV.
Well, it has happened again. This man working an after-school program in Kokomo is arrested and now charged with sexual misconduct. The Miami County Sheriff's Department says James Michael Pewitt sent sexually explicit messages and engaged in sexual activity with a 15-year-old. Child advocates say this shows the importance, parents, of talking about sexual predators with your children. You cannot have that conversation too many times. They say, parents, you need to start talking about it even before your children are in school, focusing on age-appropriate topics at first and increasing in sophistication as they get older. They also say, parents, you should read up on how to spot and address warning signs of child exploitation. You can find much more information on this and help in starting those conversations at fox59.com.
Here's what's coming up next at 10:30.
Well, imagine this, a robot, much like this one, helping you with your chores around the house. It seems like technology from the future, maybe the Jetsons, right? Well, we're going to show you why it could soon actually be a reality.
Plus, closure for a Swiss family 75 years after a couple disappeared. You won't believe where they were just found. We'll have that next.
Hot summer nights, and this is living up to the billing. A heat wave is about ready to take hold and will hit harder over the next few afternoons, still near 80 degrees at this hour. We've got an eye on some thunderstorms and heat indices that could go as well as high of 105, even hotter. We'll tell you when coming up.
Time now is 10:30. Here's a look at your top stories. Right now, a Martinsville couple, fighting desperately to get their newborn to the U.S. This little baby was born in Cancun early while Larry and Michaela, that is, were on vacation. Michaela was just 28 weeks pregnant when the baby was born. The baby is now in the NICU in Cancun. A medical jet will not be able to get the baby and bring him to Riley until the morning. So we are praying through this night. But with a $30,000 hospital bill, no one knows if the hospital in Cancun will even allow them to leave. So we're watching this closely.
Yeah, daunting situation for that family. Also tonight, ISP is asking people on social media to stop interfering with or speculating on the Delphi murder investigation. Police say people are posting pictures of men alongside the sketch of the Delphi murder suspect, and they say it could do more harm than good. Instead, they want people to send in their tips by calling or emailing the tip line. You can find those numbers on our website at fox59.com.
Right now, police need your help finding this Indianapolis mother. She is accused of threatening to harm her children and prompting an Amber Alert. Thankfully, her children are safe, but now authorities are concerned about her well-being. We do know Mikhail Pullins has a domestic violence case already pending against her in Johnson County. In May, Greenwood police say Pullins attacked her boyfriend at the Johnson County Armory and nearly ran over one of her children. Again tonight, police are concerned about her well-being. If you see her, call police.
Well, we've got some dangerous heat headed our way again tomorrow. It's going to be extremely
It is, and we're not overinflating this. We're not trying, this is staggering. 23 children have already died nationally due to vehicular heat stroke. That is just locking the car doors and leaving a child or even a pet inside the car. You can't do it.
Just don't.
You don't mess around with this. It's going to get increasingly hotter each afternoon. Tomorrow will be about 10 or at least feel 10 or 12 degrees hotter than it did today. Wow. That's impressive considering the heat index was at 93. Yes, it's summer. Yes, we do have heat waves. There's no doubt about that. But when you have not been acclimated to this heat for quite some time, and we've only had 3 90-degree days, and the humidity is creeping up tonight. That air is a heavier brand of air. It's a tropical feel out there. Hey, there's a lot of us who appreciate this kind of weather, have been waiting for it all season long. And what of a better way to do it than to cool off over Lake Monroe or even Morse Reservoir, Geist. So many of the area waterways are great. You can see a shower actually passed right over Lake Monroe this afternoon, and then the sky set on a clear night. Warm afternoon. Temperature failed to reach the 90-degree mark. We were awfully close, hit it at Geist and at Jamestown. Some area thermometers were already there. The official thermometer at the airport reaching 88. We've had 3 90-degree days. We average 8 to this date. Last year we had 9. The most by July 19th were 33 days. But we're flipping the switch here quickly, not only getting the hot temperatures, but getting a lot of humidity to go along with it as well. The numbers right now include an 82 at Beech Grove, still 81 at Greenwood. Westfield, that number tends to shut down at about 8 o'clock. Geist is at 78. Studios of Fox 59 still sitting at 79 degrees. We've got an 80 in Plainfield and Pendleton, Columbus, even Monticello are all right around the 80-degree mark. The official temperatures, it's warm, it's stuffy, it is muggly. It is here, folks, and it's not going to back down. In fact, the heat will tighten its grip here as we bring little to no wind through the area, high levels of humidity. There isn't going to be much help out there if you don't have the air conditioning. Get somewhere cool because the afternoon highs will reach the low to mid-90s combined with these numbers that are very, very high. And when that occurs, that means the heat index will easily exceed 100 degrees, something we haven't done officially this season. It's been as high as 96 in Indianapolis, and the dew points are going up tonight. Now, thunderstorms can bring some relief, bring enough cloud cover to hold down the temperatures, even cool the temperatures off with thunder and lightning and rain. But those thunderstorms in northern Illinois that are plowing east are now running into a little bit more stable air and are likely to fall apart or weaken as they come into northern Indiana late tonight. What this does will set up heavier cloud cover overnight, preventing the temperatures from really cooling off. These rain showers and thunder showers will diminish early tomorrow morning, and we'll get right back to hazy sunshine and really start heating up. It's 79 degrees on a light southwest wind. These storms earlier in the afternoon produced 70, 80-mile-an-hour winds, still prompting warnings just outside of the Chicago city limits. That rim of fire pattern has developed. This is where the front lies, and it's around the periphery of heat that these thunderstorms develop and ride the jet stream and are trafficked in from the north and west. So the air is sinking, compressing, and heating out west, and that hot dome spreads east with hotter temperatures over the next couple of days. We're talking the hottest weather here in central Indiana since 2013. Heat index tomorrow easily arriving well above 100 degrees with limited shower and thunderstorm chances until we get to Sunday when an actual cold front passes. So tonight, stuffy, humid. Maybe a shower or storm far northwest late tonight, but otherwise dry and muggly with a low of 74 degrees. Heat index tomorrow will reach 105 or even higher in spots with a high temperature at 95. Heat will not back off until a front passes Sunday night. Relief arrives on Monday.
All right, Brian, thank you. A newborn dies days after being exposed to the herpes simplex virus. Why her family thinks a simple kiss is to blame. Tonight, how you can make sure this doesn't happen to your children.
Plus, we've seen it in the movies for years, but robots could soon be the hottest home accessory. That's right. See when you can get one of these high-tech helpers next.
And new tonight on Newspoint, a Central Indiana man on a mission from the top of a parking garage. Why he refused to come down for 3 days and how his stay is helping young people stay on the right track. And an herbal coffee, not as natural as they claim. The ingredient found in this brew, that's leading stores to take it off their shelves. We'll see you tonight on Newspoint at 11.
New at 10, a multi-service center serving Indy's northeast side will stop providing some of those services next month. Forest Manor says it will transfer programs to other organizations starting August the 1st. The center says this is just a pause in its program, which will allow its board of directors and the community to decide what's best for the neighborhood.
Well, the 24th annual Brickyard 400 is this weekend. That's Friday. And while officials want you to have fun, they also say they are more concerned with fans overheating. We've been talking a lot about the extreme heat. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway will have almost 100 misting stations and over 50 water fountains to keep everyone cool and hydrated. So important. They will also have 7 cooling buses. IMS is moving the Brickyard race to September next year to avoid the blistering heat.
New at 10, the Marion County Sheriff's Office needs your help naming their new K-9 deputy. Right now, the pup is finishing up his training to be a bomb-sniffing dog at the City County building. You can submit your ideas for a name on the Marion County Sheriff's Office Facebook page. Sheriff John Layton will pick the winning name.
You know I love naming animals. I'm thinking,
Good.
looking
think
at
of
him.
It during the commercial. Think of one.
I think I have one.
All right.
Rugby.
Rugby. I like it.
I don't know. We'll see. Well, a baby gains her angel wings days after she is kissed by someone with a cold sore. We've been following this story since it first broke. And now a big warning from doctors for every parent watching tonight to make sure this tragedy doesn't happen to someone else.
Plus, are you heading out on vacation soon? Why you need to think twice before connecting to that free public Wi-Fi.
This Iowa newborn, this precious little girl, dies after she was kissed by someone with a cold sore. Baby Mariana's mother says the little girl died yesterday in her dad's arms with her mother by her side. She was born healthy, but the family says Mariana was infected after someone with herpes simplex virus kissed her. The virus caused her liver and her kidneys to fail. Unfortunately, there is little parents can do to stop the spread of the virus. Doctors do say, though, parents, you should be fearful of anyone kissing or snuggling, especially a newborn.
They just kept asking, do you know anyone that has the virus that could have came in contact with her? And we had so many people come see her, like, we don't know, nor there's no point to point blame on anyone. So just maybe learn from our mistake or, you know, let somebody else know so it doesn't happen to them.
It is heartbreaking. The baby's parents say Mariana tested negative for herpes simplex virus. Doctors say every year babies get the virus, but only about a quarter of the cases are as severe as this one, baby Mariana.
So sad.
Yeah.
Well, an Ohio man deported to Mexico, leaving his 4 children without a father. Jesus Lara Lopez came to the United States without documentation 16 years ago, got a job and started a family. A federal judge ordered his removal, but he was granted a stay until this year's changes to immigration policy. Lopez's attorney says the law provides no pathway for his return to the United States. His 14-year-old son has started a GoFundMe account to help with his living expenses.
Logging onto a free public Wi-Fi network could end up costing you your identity, so beware. The Better Business Bureau tonight is saying there's been an increase in scammers stealing information from people on unsecured Wi-Fi networks. Officials also say these scammers set up Wi-Fi connections through a router that appears to have the same name as a business, a hotel, or even an airport. So you think you're on the right network. But a scammer now has access to all of your personal information through your phone. Businesses can help keep you safe. Bee Coffee Roasters actually changes its Wi-Fi password often and checks their usage to stop scammers, that is, from logging on.
We always see an uptick of this in the summer months because so many people are traveling. They're going to airports, hotels, coffee shops like this. And so the scammers know that, and they will set up one of these Wi-Fi hotspots, a lot of times make it look like a legitimate Wi-Fi spot where you can get into.
Now, the Bureau says many people later notice suspicious charges. That is when you need to call your credit card company immediately, your bank, and call the police.
Governor Eric Holcomb was in the nation's capital today meeting with Vice President Mike Pence. The governor spoke at a joint fundraiser for the governor's fundraising committee and state Republican Party. The vice president making an appearance there as well. Today, the president telling Republican senators not to leave town for the August recess without passing a health care bill. During a meeting with GOP senators, President Trump told them they needed to make good on 7 years of promises to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. Republicans met tonight to talk about the health care bill, and where they also heard the news about Senator John McCain's cancer diagnosis that we told you about earlier. Meantime, a new poll shows Americans want both parties to work together and negotiate a new plan.
75 years after a Swiss couple disappears from their farm in the Swiss Alps, their bodies are found mummified in a glacier. The couple's children say their parents were walking to a valley when they disappeared. The couple's youngest daughter is now 79 and says this discovery really gives her a deep sense of calm. Scientists will now officially confirm the couple's identity using DNA tests.
Wow. Tech company Apple is launching a new feature to help you call 911. Why a simple touch could get you help within minutes.
Wow. Plus, it is almost like a scene out of the TV show The Jetsons. That would be Rosie, perhaps. Why robots could soon be in every home on your block.
Can you imagine? Plus, it's a game changer for people who are colorblind. See how a simple pair of glasses is helping them see the world in a whole new light.
And Fox59 will once again be building a Habitat for Humanity house for a deserving Central Indiana family. We hope you'll join us. We do need your help. So grab your hammers and come on over to the Fox59 studio July 28th. That's when we start building in the Fox59 parking lot. Today is the last day for you to sign up. So right now, go online, fox59.com/habitat. Pick a team. You can choose to be on one of 6 teams featuring our morning crew. All of the information is online, so go right now and sign up. We'll see you there.
Apple wants your iPhone to help you raise a silent alarm if you ever get in a jam. The tech giant patented a process that would allow you to discreetly dial 911 using only your fingerprint. Apple suggests this technology would look for a sequence of fingerprints or applied pressure to trigger an emergency call. The feature would give first responders the iPhone's location and could also pull live video or audio. It's not clear yet if or when this technology could show up in your phone.
Well, new at 10 tonight, glasses have been helping us see clearly for years, but now they can help you see color. That's right. About 13 million people in the United States are colorblind. These glasses actually don't cure color blindness, but they show the colors differently so people can distinguish between them. That's a huge breakthrough. Wow. Well, a new star is joining the cast of Empire, a blockbuster show right here on Fox. Oscar winner Forrest Whitaker will guest star in multiple episodes during the 4th season of the hit drama. Whitaker will be Uncle Eddie, a music icon and hit maker. He will give Lucius his first radio airplay, or that's actually what he did in the storyline. He also steps up for Lucius decades later during his rehabilitation. Empire, by the way, returns September 27th right here again on Fox 59.
We can't wait. Well, for years, movies and TV shows have showed us the possibilities of a world full of robots, but now that's proving to be more of a reality. Why one of these robots could soon be in your home. And tickets for individual Colts games go on sale tomorrow. But Fox 59 is giving you and your family a chance to win a free family 4-pack to the season opener September 17th against the Cardinals. Go to Fox 59's Facebook page for your chance to win. We'll announce the winner on Friday morning. Chris?
And if you don't win, you can watch that game right here on Fox 59, Dan. Hey, we're talking Brickyard 400s of days gone by and looking forward to the 24th running tonight on News Point at 11, including Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s memories of his dad's win back in 1995.
Hey, check this out. The future is now thanks to the first robot designed for your home. It's a pint-sized companion with a camera, a voice command system, and it'll get to know everybody around the house. It's called Curie. It runs about $700 and should be in stores by the holidays. So you guys can add it to your Christmas
I love
list.
it. I thought I wanted, I feel like I wanted to have a mouth, though.
Possibly.
You wanted to be able to talk to you.
Right.
Exactly. What do you got coming up on News Point?
Next tonight on News Point at 11, an Indiana family living a nightmare. Their baby, born in Mexico at just 28 weeks, why they're being forced to find tens of thousands of dollars just to get their baby back home. And back on the ground, why this Central Indiana man refused to come down from atop of this parking garage for 3 days, and why this is a mission accomplished.
We've got our eye on some thunderstorms in far northern Illinois, how they may impact parts of north central Indiana, and the big-time heat that's headed our way, how hot it will get coming up.
Plus, a teenager inspires Apple to create a new emoji, why the 16-year-old is inspiring a unique icon.